Hello friends, welcome to Mahipal Reddy GK House. Today we are going to cover the topics like International Day for Biological Diversity 2021, RBI's transfer of 99,120 crore surplus to the government, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Welfare Fund for the sports person, DRDO's COVID-19 antibody detection kit, Bodhan rice, which is cultivated in Assam, Sundarlan Bahaguna, because he died recently, let us learn something about his contribution for the environmental movements and historical environmental movements. Okay, whatever happened till today, and BRICS astronomy working group meeting. So let us learn one by one. Coming to the first one, International Day for Biological Diversity for the year 2021, which is celebrated each year on May 22nd. So the theme of this particular celebration is we are part of the solution. Okay, so it is generally celebrated to commemorate the Rio summit, which was happened in the year 1992. Okay, in the Rio de Janeiro city of Portuguese. So basically, in order to commemorate that particular meeting, this particular day is being celebrated. And basically, previously, December 29th used to be celebrated as this particular day. But later, this day got shifted to May 22nd, okay, to commemorate the adoption of the convention at the Rio Earth Summit. And there are other historically significant days, okay. 5th June is celebrated as World Environment Day. 22nd March is celebrated as World Water Day. 22nd April is celebrated as Earth Day. Last Saturday of March is celebrated as Earth Hour. Very, very important this point is. Okay. So please remember all these facts for your examination. Coming to the second important item, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Welfare Fund for the sports person. The sports person are given with some welfare fund, okay, by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Okay, it has approved a one-time settlement of 2 lakh rupees to the Karnataka's Tejaswini Bhai. Actually, Tejaswini Bhai was a member of Women Kabaddi team, and she won the Arjuna Award for the year 2011. Actually, Arjuna Award was instituted in the year 1961. Okay, and she also won the gold medals at 2010-2014 Asian Games. Okay, you must remember these particular points. Okay, they may ask you the achievements of this particular sports person also in the examination. The financial assistance has been approved from the Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Welfare Fund for the sports person. Previously, this money was used to be given as pension, but now the funding scheme got changed recently. And this particular fund was set up in the year 1982 to assist the outstanding sports person of the yesteryear living in indigent circumstances who had brought glory to the country in the sports. Basically, if the very bright sports person of the past times, if they are surviving in a particular pathetic situations, it brings very disglory to the country. Okay, that's the reason why this fund got set up in order to assist them during the crisis time. And this particular scheme was revised in the year 2016, as I told you, to provide for lump sum ex gratia assistance to the outstanding sports person. So one-time settlement will be given. Okay. So in this way, this fund is used for the welfare of the sports person. What is that fund is? Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Welfare Fund for the sports person. Please remember this. And next, coming to the other important current affair, Reserve Bank of India to transfer 99,122 crore surplus to the government. Basically, RBI is one of the public sector undertaking. Okay, so naturally it is bound to give the dividends to the government, but this time it is going to give very lump sum amount, that is 99,122 crores. Almost all 1 lakh crore rupees are to be given by the RBI. Okay, And RBI decided to maintain contingency risk buffer at 5.5%. So it has limited its contingency funds at the 5.5%, and remaining amount is to be given to the government. So definitely this fund is going to help the government like anything, because in the COVID situations, the government is cash strapped. In this particular situation, these funds are going to be utilized by the government for the welfare purpose. And as far as this provision regarding this particular fund transfer is concerned, RBI is founded in the year 1934, and it is operated according to the Reserve Bank of India Act of 1934. Okay, there is a particular legislation, so that's the reason why RBI is also called as statutory body, and it is also a regulatory body. Okay, statutory body because it is formed out of a statute, regulatory body because it regulates the banking system. Okay, and this particular act clearly says the central government must be given the funds according to the profit ratio of the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, and a committee was constituted in the year 2013. That committee is named, the committee was, or the board was headed by Y.H. Malegaon committee. Question is very sure regarding this particular issue. Y.H. Malegaon committee was constituted for which of the following reason? That way you may get a question. So which reviewed the adequacy of the reserves and surplus distribution policy, and it had recommended a higher transfer to the government. So it has studied how much surplus must be kept with the RBI. Okay, what amount of funds must be kept with the RBI in order to meet the contingency situations or emergencies. Okay, how much money that can be given to the government. In that way, it has studied. Eventually, it came up with a recommendation stating that higher transfer must be provided to the government. So this is what the outcome of this particular Y.H. Malegaon committee. It is a technical committee which was constituted by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, this much you have to remember. And next important thing is DRDO's COVID-19 antibody detection kit. Okay, so who had developed this particular kit? Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences, that is DPAS. Okay, which is a laboratory of DRDO, and this particular antibody detection kit is developed for COVID-19. So this kit name is DIPCO-1. What is that? DIPCO-1. So you must remember this. This is not a medicine. Rather, it is a detection kit. How to detect the COVID. So it is antigen based detection kit. And coming to this particular kit, this DIPCO-1 kit can detect both spike as well as the nucleocapsid. Basically, virus will be having the nucleocapsid. So capsid, it is a proteinaceous capsid. Inside this, there will be nuclear material or genetic material, and outside this there will be spikes. Okay, so spikes to attach to the target cell using the receptors. Okay, and this particular antigen will be working both against this particular spike as well as this particular nucleocapsid. So in this way, it will provide you high sensitivity at the tune of 97%. and specificity of 99%. This is what the advantage of this particular antigen kit. And this kit will be having the shelf life of 18 months. It will be able to detect the antigens for 18 months. Okay, it has been developed in association with the Vanguard Diagnostics Private Limited. It is a kind of public-private cooperation. And antibody detection kit is approved by the ICMR in the month of April 2021. So this is what the latest development regarding the antigen kit or antigen detection kit developed by the DRDO. DRDO's agency is DPAS, Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences. Okay, so this much you have to remember. And the next one, Bhaodan. What is Bhaodan? It is an iron-rich rice variety which is grown in the Brahmaputra Valley of the Assam without the use of any chemical fertilizer. Basically, in the Brahmaputra Valley, there will be a constant problem of floods. Okay, this particular rice variety is constantly exposed to these floods. It needs a swampy areas. What is that area? Swampy area, bushy area, in order to grow. So this kind of flooding situation favors this particular cultivation of the rice. Okay, and this rice variety does not need any chemical fertilizer. So, and this rice is also called a red rice because of the presence of anthocyanin. Because of the presence of anthocyanin, this particular rice appears in the red color. That's the reason why this rice is called a red rice. And government is also promoting this rice for the exporting purpose. So first consignment of this particular rice was sent to the US from the Assam recently. Okay, so this much you have to remember. Okay, Baodan is a rice variety, organic rice variety, which usually grows in the flood prone areas. Okay, and coming to Sundarlal Bahuguna, very great environmentalist who born in the year 1927 and died very recently. He initiated a movement called Chipko movement to guard the trees on the Himalayan slopes. Basically, Himalayan ecosystem is very fragile ecosystem, very sensitive ecosystem. The deforestation does not only lead to the loss of the trees and groundwater, but also it exposes the fragile ecosystem of the Himalayan terrain for the avalanches, floods, etc. Okay, so that's the reason why he was very much vocal for supporting the afforestation in that particular region, and he was completely against the deforestation. And he coined a slogan that is ecology is our permanent economy. Very, very important contribution from his side, because he firmly believed in the sustainable development, which we are now talking about. And the Chipko movement, after aftermath of the Chipko movement in the 1970s, he gave the message across the globe that ecology and ecosystem are most important. And he was of the opinion that ecology and economy should go together, because there must not be any conflict between the development and environment. Rather, they must be going hand in hand. This is what the message he tried to give. Not only protecting these particular trees in the Himalayan ecosystem, he was also against the Tehri Dam, which was built on the river Bhagirathi. Because Himalayan ecosystem, as I told you, very fragile, and it is also a seismic zone. Seismic zone means which was prone to the earthquakes, because storage of the large amounts of water in that fragile environment may create a kind of seismic activity in that particular region. So for that reason, he has protested against. Not only that, this Tehri Dam also tried to dislocate the urban inhabitants near the Tehri town. So in order to protect their livelihood, in order to protect their settlements also, he fought for. And he has undertaken a long Padayatra, that is foot march, that is 4,800 kilometers from Kashmir to Kohima. Okay, so in the early 1980s, to bring an attention to the entire Himalayan region, because it is all the Himalayan stretch. So he tried to underscore the importance of the Himalayan ecosystem and its preservation against any devastating effects of the development. And he also supported women-led movements, that is Beach Bachao Andolan. It is a movement against the Green Revolution. Okay, so because the women folk realized, yes, this Green Revolution is not going to be very much sustainable as far as the agricultural productivity is concerned and environmental integrity is concerned. That's the reason why against this Green Revolution, they started the Beach Bachao Andolan. So question may come, the Beach Bachao Andolan came into the light against which of the following? So that is the answer is Green Revolution. So if you try to understand the historical environmental movements, first one, Bishnoi movement. So the leader was Amrita Devi. Basically, this Bishnoi sector used to treat the trees as God. Godly treatment used to be given to the trees. So felling the trees was to be treated as act against the god. So for that reason, they fought against in the year 1970, in the year 1700s. Okay, so the region is Kejarli Marwal region of the Rajasthan. Chipko movement 1973 in the state of Uttarakhand, Sundarlal Bahuguna and Chandi Prasad Bhatt. So nothing but hugging the trees against the felling. And the Silent River Valley project 1978, that is Kantipuja river in the Kerala. Kerala Sastra Sahitya Parishad. So these are the leaders of this particular movement, because there was a hydroelectric project was planned in the Silent Valley, so which was against the fragile ecosystem of this particular valley. So that's why they have fought against it. And Jangal Bachao Andolan 1982, Singhbum district of Bihar, it is a place, and leader was tribals of Singhbum. Okay, and against the government decision to replace the natural sal forest trees with the teak. So they fought against, because sal was treated as sacred tree for that particular tribal group. And Apiko movement 1983 in Karnataka, Lakshmi Narasimha Yuvak Mandali and Panduranga Hegde. Okay, and they fought for protecting the natural trees, and they were against the deforestation and against the commercial forestry of the teak and eucalyptus trees. And Tehri Dam, as I told you, Sundarlal Bahuguna had fought against it, because this particular project was constructed in the fragile ecosystem of Himalayas, and it was threatening the livelihood of the localites. Not only that, it would also create a kind of seismic atmosphere, where the entire area will be vulnerable to the earthquakes. It was started in the 1980s. Narmada Bachao Andolan, even till today it is in the picture, because this particular dam dislocated lot of lakhs of people, and initially this movement was started to rehabilitate and resettle the evicted people of that particular area. And the leaders include Medha Patkar, Arundhati Rai, Sundarlal Bahuguna, Baba Amte and Arundhati Rai. So these are all the leaders of this particular movement. Okay, so question may come, because in the context of Sundarlal Bahuguna, you may get a question from any side. Okay, for that reason you must get prepared. And nextly, BRICS Astronomy Working Group meeting. So it is a 7th meeting which was held, and this particular group talks about the science, technology and innovation. Okay, and the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, which is in Pune, Department of Science and Technology, had coordinated this particular meeting. These are the two agencies. One is IUCAA of Pune and DST. These are the primary coordinators of this particular astronomy working group meeting. And what is this particular BRICS Astronomy Working Group? It provides a platform for the BRICS members to collaborate in the field of astronomy, recommending that focal points in each country should present the scientific results of the work being carried out in each country. So basically every country would carry out their own particular astronomical research. So it is a platform to share their experience regarding the research in the astronomy, in the area of astronomy. And this will also help seeking funding support to realize flagship project whenever funding opportunities are announced by the BRICS funding agencies. So it means in order to fund any project, because when you share your experience, definitely the funding priorities will be exposed to the member countries, and whenever the time arrives, definitely the funding will be done. So this is what the idea behind this particular working group meeting. And in this meeting, they have discussed, okay, they indicated the future directions of the research in this area. So how to build a network of intelligent telescopes, so data network, study of the transient astronomical phenomenon in the universe. What is the role of big data? What is the role of artificial intelligence, machine learning applications? Okay, because in the space science, you're going to get very, very big data, very voluminous data. So how to process that? So processing of that data requires development of artificial intelligence. This was all discussed in this particular meeting. And coming to BRICS, BRICS is an association. BRICS is a acronym for the grouping of the countries. These are the leading emerging economies. Okay, so these are about to become largest economies of the country, and namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So how this particular grouping got this particular naming? In the year 2001, British economist Jim O'Neill, he coined the word BRIC to describe the 4 emerging economies of that particular time. That is Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Later, the South Africa joined in the year 2010. Okay, and the grouping was formalized during the first meeting of the BRIC foreign ministers in the year 2006. It got a shape in the 2006. Okay, and India assumed the BRICS presidency from the January month of the 2021. Okay, it is in the presidential position. India is in the presidential position for this particular BRICS meeting grouping. And lastly, world largest iceberg breaks off in Antarctica. Actually, European Space Agency informed that iceberg, its name is A76. You must remember this. It is the world's largest iceberg. Okay, so it got detached from the western side of the Ronne ice shelf in Antarctica. So what is that ice shelf name is? Ronne ice shelf. Okay, very, very important. So the piece name is, the piece which had been separated from this particular Ronne ice shelf is A76. Okay, and you will be wondering, what is the size of this particular iceberg? You know, it is 170 kilometers long and 25 kilometers wide. So that's larger than Long Island in the New York. Basically, you will be having Long Island. So it is more than the Long Island in the New York of United States of America, and it is also half the size of the Puerto Rico island. Okay, and icebergs are formed when large pieces of the ice breaks off from the ice shelves. Basically, there will be a big ice shelf. No, for example, if something is broken off from the basic ice shelf, that is called iceberg. Okay, this iceberg is in the size of 170 kilometers. You can understand. So this is all the result of the global warming, because oceans are heating because of the incremental values of the carbon dioxide in the environment. So that is creating the problem of greenhouse effect, whereby the oceans are heating, the climate is changing. So this is an outcome. Okay, this may increase the levels of the ocean in the coming days. Okay, so thank you, friends. Thank you so much for patient listening. So I will be meeting you in the next class with all interesting current affairs. Thank you so much.